My mind is squirt, some rhyme work that'll make your sinus hurt. Buckle your seat while the pilot work. My spacecraft got enough gas that'll take you out of this earth. I'm magic with the pen and paper like a warlock. The window pane's wide open, but the door's locked. So you looking through the window for it in your window, but do they really have the skill to analyze the symbol? Crescendo, the ashes blow when the wind blow. The rain put out the fire while the children build a temple. Just like the pyramids, walls and scribble, a projection in the sky of the messiahs on your mental. Monumental and extraterrestrial, turning these niggas into mental vegetables. It's kinda crazy how I ride on instrumentals as I slice like a Ginsu with the vibe I put in. You listen. This is not a double life. It's just a new beginning. The magic is to focus on our goals till we're winning. I'd rather have a portrait of myself up on the ceiling. I could lay down on the floor, look up and visualize the millions. Imagine that. Do you see the picture clearly? Focusing on working with me. You could get this money with me. We could take over the world and put the trophies in the city, the plaques on the wall, and have a feast of who was with me. Yeah, last week was just the past, right? A new beginning. I've been up for all these past nights, and all these people that I knew just seem to pass by. They stuck on stupid worry about their past lives, and I just ask why. Are they agents? Is the system about to crash? Am I the one like in the Matrix? Is the planets in the heavens? Then the earth is just a spaceship. Our thoughts control reality, and life is what you make it. Yes, yes, y'all. And you don't stop. What's going on? Am I coming in loud and clear? Let me know. Let me know. Okay, let's see if we coming in loud and clear. Not going to be on for a long time. I just wanted to share something with those who come in to see the live stream real quick. We're getting ready for episode 5 tonight. Episode 5 is real crazy, and it actually is quite mild compared to the finale. So I just want to tell you that, prepare you for that. And this video that I put out just a few days ago, it didn't it didn't do a lot of numbers. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know why. Maybe because of the Georgia Guidestone situation, or maybe the timing of the video. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna play it here. You know, I'm gonna play. Y'all know the meme about real, how I get you in these live streams and I play the video. But we're gonna talk about it a little bit as well as we get ready for episode 5. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you. We going go up in here and see. Let me scroll up real quick. We got Zoomer Waffen or Zoomer Waffen. Zoomer Waffen. What's going on, Zoomer Waffen? That's a cool name. We got Tallulah Lives. The wonderful, beautiful Joy is in the building with us. We got Golden Child Productions here. Leah is here. Matt Gonzalez is in the building. Fatima, what's going on, Fatima? How you doing? Leah, we got Jazz here. Who else? Okay, we got Neek in the building. Neek, what's going on? What's going on? Yes, we in the building. What's going on? Let me go ahead. Alicia's in here too. Okay, bang, we in here. Peace. Let's see what we can rock out real quick. Let's see. There it is. Silo Season 3 is heating up like a peach cobbler fresh out the oven. Let's talk about some of the symbolism that's baked into the mix. Welcome to Real Enigmas and Theories. Tap that like and hype on your way in, and let's get right to the cook up. This video will contain spoilers if you're not caught up to Season 3, Episode 4. So let's get into this. Now, if you didn't take the forgetting drug, then you probably remember when George gave Juliet that forbidden travel book about Georgia all the way at the bottom of the silo. That relic was kept by the Flame Keepers. George and Juliet's mothers were both Flame Keepers, and that's how Juliet ended up with that relic from George. And if you didn't take that forgetting drug, I'm sure you remember that old lady Gloria from Season 1 when Juliet showed her that relic when she found her in the long-term care part of the medical while she was being drugged. Yeah, you know the lady that was trying to give Holston's wife fertility counseling? That one. That's Gloria, and she was one of the last known Flame Keepers alongside Ann Wilkins, George's mother. Ann helped Juliet's mother, Hannah Nichols, and the Georgia travel book passed through the Flame Keepers before reaching George and then Juliet. Now, that book represents the old world, forbidden knowledge, and a place that the people inside the silo are not supposed to know exists. Now, most people call that fruit in the opening credits an apple because of the whole Adam and Eve, forbidden knowledge, and Apple TV symbolism. And I get that. But look at the shape of it. Look at that crease in the color. I mean, even in the title credits, you have that part where it shows the peach decomposing and you can see that it turns into a peach pit. You don't see a bunch of apple seeds. You can see the peach pit right here. I mean, even now that we can see the fruit is rotten, to me, it looks more like a peach than an apple. And not only does that thing look like a peach, but peaches keep getting mentioned throughout all 3 seasons of Silo. During Mayor John's funeral in Season 1, we see people biting peaches and apples to throw in the grave at the orchard. And we'll talk about that word orchard later. Solo Jimmy was talking about peaches in Season 2. And I also saw canned peaches in Silo 17. Then in the Season 2 finale, Helen asked Daniel if the Pez dispenser is something from his home state, and Daniel says it's not a peach. I mean, why would he even need to say that? But when you sit down and think about it, Georgia and peaches are being mentioned everywhere inside of this entire story. And I've been on this Georgia trail for a while now, and the more Season 3 gives us, the less Georgia and peaches feel like a random location and fruit choice that they picked for Daniel and Charlotte. The peaches were being planted in the show before we even knew that the people tied to the creation of the silo came from Georgia. Daniel grew up in Cartersville, Georgia. You got that Georgia travel relic, and Daniel was the mascot for the Georgia Bulldogs. He went to University of Georgia, and he even represents Georgia in Congress. Now, the show Silo has presented the idea that humanity has been reduced and the survivors are stored underground. Marriage is regulated, pregnancy needs permission, and birth control is controlled by the government. Certain people are allowed to have children while the other people only think that they're allowed to have children. The pack tells everybody to live, and I bet they get a pretty damn good workout having to navigate the stairs in the silo with no elevators. Now, call me crazy, but all of this connects right back to our real world Georgia with something called the Georgia Guidestones. The Georgia Guidestones were this giant granite monument outside of Elberton, Georgia. Nobody even really knows who paid for them. The person behind it used the name R.C. Christian, which sounds like a fake name because it was. Now, the stones had instructions for humanity written in multiple languages. Okay, so we're going to stop right there for a minute and rap about this. We're going to rap about this. What's going on? Percy is in the building. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Percy said, could the Flame Keepers be the Luciferian or Illuminati keepers of illuminating knowledge? Well, you know, we can talk about secret societies, but how secret are they if we know about them?
So I would say yes and no. You know, however, the symbolism's purpose and intention and spell work is the same. I hope that answers that question. Leah with the two Jews, Sparkles, what's going on? Yes, indeed. We got Fatima with the membership. What's going on? Welcome to the Magnified. Percy said, not gonna lie, I love a fat, juicy peach. I love peaches. Peaches are one of my favorite fruits. I love watermelon is at the top. Peaches. I like all fruit. I'm a fruit person. I really love the golden honeydew melons. Have y'all seen those? The golden honeydew joints. I love those, and I love honeydew melon as well. But the golden ones are, yeah, the golden ones are the truth. Ah, Neek said, "Go, go ahead, Percy." Joy said nectarines. I prefer nectarines myself. I like nectarines. I got some peach and nectarine seeds sitting right here on my desk. Like I love peaches. I love nectarines. I love grapes. I love all that shit. I'm a fruit person. Percy tripping over there. He said he love a fat juicy peach. But yo, okay, so we're making Georgia connections here. Like Elizabeth in the building came late. Wonder if we're really talking about fruit. Yo, I'm talking about fruit. I know Percy's over there kicking a double entendre, and we're finding a bit of humor in that. However, I, I knew somebody was gonna say that. Golden Child Production, I could eat a peach for hours. I knew somebody was gonna say that. I was just waiting. I knew somebody was gonna say it. I didn't want to ruin it. I knew somebody was gonna say that. So Elizabeth, there's your answer. That there's your answer. Percy, look at what you started, man. We trying to be serious. We talking about Georgia Guidestones and shit, man. Like we're talking you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Hold up. Let's see what we got going on. Oh my goodness. Pause. Tallulah said pause. I said some pause worthy shit in my episode 5 video, and I was gonna put a pause in there, but I was like, nah, yo, take that shit out. I didn't even intend for that shit to come out like that, but you'll see. Y'all might catch it. Y'all who some of y'all might catch it. I don't know when the video drops tonight. You know what I'm saying? We got the wonderful, beautiful Del Senior in the building. Hey everyone, I'm actually eating watermelon and peach as I chat. Okay, that's right. My bad, brother. I'm gonna put a pause on it. Del Senior, yeah, she in the building. And we caught her at a good time. She's actually eating the fruit. See, me and Del Senior, we on the same page here. We talking about real fruit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all nasty and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to get like Daniel and Helen and shit. Like how Daniel's trying to get with Helen. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying all of that type shit. Y'all trying. Oh, George was a freak though. George had two women. He had Regina and you know what I'm saying? He ain't give a damn about no sanctioned marriages. He was like, "Hey, this my wife. This my wife. I'm gonna tell her about the flame keeper shit. I'm gonna give this one a watch. I'm gonna give this one a travel guide, and I'm gonna give him a little something else." And he was taking him down to the void. He wasn't playing with him. You know what I'm saying? Then he was dipping down there in the water. George was a wild boy. They had to throw his ass off the rail. You know what? They was he was trying to go ahead and make something happen. George wasn't bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? He would have been hell if he would have linked up with old Juliet's father taking the birth controls out. Oh, he would have been hell. yo, yo. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about these Georgia Guidestones real quick, right? Hold on, let me back up a little
The Georgia Guidestones were this giant granite monument outside of Elberton, Georgia. Nobody even really knows who paid for them. The person behind it used the name R.C. Christian, which sounds like a fake name because it was. Now, the stones had instructions for humanity written in multiple languages just in case of a global catastrophe where humans need to rebuild. It instructed to guide reproduction wisely, improve.
Okay, so this is the shit right here. Like the Georgia Guidestones. Let's talk about this just for a quick second, right? It's like this. An actual monument was placed in the granite capital of the world. So the granite capital of the world is Elmerton, Georgia. Okay. And this place has more granite than any other place in the world. Okay. This place is the number one supplier of tombstones in the world. And someone decided to see, y'all, I can't even say what I was just about to say. I was going to say erect, but now y'all talking about peaches and all this shit. I can't even say it. Like someone decided to build or put up, or I was going to say erect the Georgia Guidestones with multiple languages on them, right? Not only multiple languages, but instructions on how to rebuild humanity. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even saying to rebuild humanity. It wasn't talking about actually rebuilding humanity. It was talking about taking action on existing humanity. Now let me I believe they came in like the the late 1970s. Hold on, let me let me, when did the Georgia Guidestones pop up? Okay. In 1980, March 22nd. So that's 322 in 1980. They were commissioned in 1979 by an anonymous man using the pseudonym R.C. Christian. Okay. So, what was the population in 1979? Let's look that up. See, this is how I do my videos, y'all. Like I'll notice something and then I'll start with a series of questions and then I'll go look up the answers. And when I take those answers, I'll summarize them in like a little rap verse or a little rap paragraph or something. You get me? Okay. Okay, so at the time, the world population was just a little over 4 billion. Okay. Right now, we're double that. We're double that. So we are double the population of what the population was when the Georgia Guidestones were created. Now, the Georgia Guidestones were destroyed in 2022, less than a year before this show Silo came out. And we'll talk about that in a second. It's in the video. But the Georgia Guidestones, let's make this very clear. The Georgia Guidestones were not talking about rebuilding humanity. And I misspoke when I said that. It was actually talking about my brother Percy. Thank you for the jewels, fam. Thank you so much, yo. Yo, that's what's up. So, coincidence? Okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. So, they were not talking about rebuilding humanity. They were talking about taking actions upon the existing humanity of that time, of the 4 billion people that were here. They were saying, look, we got to get this shit down to like 500 million, fam. That's what was going on. They were not saying, oh, if something happens, you know, and you have a little bit of humanity left, this is what you need to do. No. They were talking about taking actions upon the existing humanity. Obviously, something happened where someone decided to go blow these things up. I do not understand for the life of me why someone has not solved. That's an unsolved crime. So we don't know who put them up, and we don't know who blew them down. Pause. So I don't, let's get back to the video.
Them. The person behind it used the name R.C. Christian, which sounds like a fake name because it was. Now, the Stones had instructions for humanity written in multiple languages just in case.
And R.C. Christian sounds like a motherfucker's trying to say Rosicrucian, okay? Y'all just want to throw that out there.
Case of a global catastrophe where humans need to rebuild. It instructed to guide reproduction wisely, improve fitness and diversity, protect people through laws and fair courts, balance personal rights with social duties, leave room for nature, and the biggest one was to maintain humanity under 500 million. And the number 500 million is real crazy considering the fact that we have over 8 billion people here in the world. So what happened to the Georgia Guidestones? They were blown up on July 6, 2022. A monument in Georgia that gave instructions about population reduction, controlled reproduction, law, diversity, and rebuilding civilization gets blown off the map on 7/6/2022. Then, less than a year later, Silo comes through Apple TV showing us 50 underground human storage containers, controlled births, erased history, memory drugs, and a system deciding who gets to reproduce. Now, I've talked about this theory in a previous video, and I've got into it deeper on my live streams.
And I also want to point something else about the Silo TV show is that it has come out and less than a year after these things got blown up. And we learned that there are 50 silos. Okay. Now, 50 silos is a multiple of the 500 million. So this is on par with either there are 1,000 locations with 50 silos, or this location with the 50 silos would be the seed for the 500 million that we would need to, maintain humanity at, right? This would also imply that something was done to humanity in order for these people to end up in a silo. The way our world works, it's more likely that humans destroyed shit, and the other thing would be something nature happened and just kind of fucked everything up. But I doubt that's it, especially when they're showing us clouds with nanobots and shit in it. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
But something about this last episode really jumped out to me. Now, July 6th is a 7/6. And in the last episode, Nurse Amy sends Juliet to the utility closet 76 inside a story about population control, guided reproduction, erased memory, and hidden American history if you really look at it. So that's a crazy connection to the Georgia Guidestones aside from the actual narrative of the show. Juliet gets sent to Closet 76 and the Georgia Guidestones were blew up on a 7-6. So let's move right along. You got Charlotte loses her memory and accidentally calls Daniel Donald. And Daniel was actually Donald in the books, but it was changed by the showrunners because of who is currently in office. But the show intentionally nods to Trump several times as if they don't even want you to forget that. Then when Daniel and Helen go to see Sam at the Pentagon, Sam jokes with Daniel about rigging the election in a state where Trump was actually arrested for something along those lines, right? And then back on episode 1, Daniel tries to get on that Iran.
So if the show changed the character's name, and we're going to get into this comment that I got too. I want to talk about this comment that I got. If the show changed the name of the character because of Donald Trump in office. Now, that's not my words. That's their words. That's their words. They said this. This is not something that I'm making up. This is what the showrunners said. Okay? So if that's the case, then why are they making jokes about rigging elections in Georgia? Why are they making references to this right here?
Commission with Senator Thurmond, and she calls them the hero of New Orleans. And that title immediately points toward Andrew Jackson, whose victory at the Battle of New Orleans turned him into a national hero. But Andrew Jackson later signed the Indian Removal Act, which helped force indigenous nations off their ancestral lands.
Okay, so we have a character that refers to Daniel, whose name is Donald in the book. She refers to him as a president. She calls him the hero of New Orleans. Okay, so the hero of New Orleans was Andrew Jackson, right? Let's back up a little bit. Did you catch that?
To a national hero, but whose victory at the Battle of New Orleans turned him into a national hero.
Okay, so she refers to him as a president. Not only do we have his friend that works at the Pentagon joke about rigging elections, right? They refer to the character that's name is Donald in the book as a president, that the current president, whose name is Donald, actually referred to himself as. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. If they didn't want him to be named Donald because of who's in office, why all of the jokes? Or why all of the nods, okay? Not to mention the whole Iran situation. Let's continue.
But Andrew Jackson later signed the Indian Removal Act, which helped force indigenous nations off their ancestral lands. And Trump has repeatedly praised Andrew Jackson and openly compared the political movement around himself to Jackson's rise against the elite. Now let's bring 76 back into the fold because it definitely points towards 1776, which is the year used to represent the birth of America. And Donald Trump created the 1776 Commission around restoring what he presented as the proper story of America's founding. And we have a show about people being given a manufactured history about how their civilization began. Now, couple that with the fact that Helen is investigating whether or not the government's public war story is a lie concerning Iran and bunker buster missiles, while Charlotte is escorting bunker busters to Iran, just like our current administration is coordinating attacks against Iran.
Let's point out the fact that I believe it was episode 2. So in between episode 2 or episodes 1 and 2 of this season, bunker busters were shipped out to Iran to blow up and strike some spots in Iran. In between the week of the first 2 episodes, and the character, this is a shot from episode 2, is talking about bunker buster missiles. Now, this has been happening over and over and over throughout Hollywood. I've pointed it out on multiple different shows. This isn't some shit that I'm thinking, and because I'm thinking this, my mind is seeing it. No, that's not this at all. Can we dispute any of the things that I'm showing here? And that's the question. I want to get to this comment real quick while it's hot and fresh on my mind. Hold on. Da. Where is it at? Oh, I got a couple joints that I didn't answer on here. See, I know I'm shadow banned because I'm not getting the notifications that tell me I'm getting comments. So I'll just go to the video myself and look and see, and there's like fucking 30 comments there. And I'm like, damn, I got 3 notifications, what the fuck's going on? So, all right, so where is the comment? Yo, shout out to all the engagement that people bring, negative and positive. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? That you take the time out of your day to drop a comment and show some love to the video and also keep the conversation going. I think it's real dope. Okay, here it is. This guy here says they don't nod to Trump. The author is nodding to the U.S. in general. Okay, that's fair. But they are nodding to Trump. But they're also nodding to the U.S. in general because the show takes place in the U.S. and it's about the U.S. government and, revenge plots on other countries. Yeah, so of course they're nodding to the U.S. But our government has always been fascist. Now, this is where the comment just goes off the rails to me because I'm not even talking about one side or the other or any of that type of shit. Like, I don't give a shit about politics because I know that they don't give a shit about me. They don't give a shit about you. They don't fucking know you. They don't care about you. They care about you when it's time for you to vote or when it's time for you to spend some money or when it's time to raise them taxes on that ass. That's when they care about you. That's it. So, but our government has always been fascist. This country was founded on genocide, and both Democrats and Republicans are helping Israel commit genocide right now, along with many other genocides the U.S. is perpetuating in Africa. Where the fuck do we get all of that from? I'm pointing out things in a show that are actually there, and this goes to show you that the whole politics and everything will send people off the rails. People, do not let these politicians and these wicked fucking people separate you from your fellow man. Don't let that happen. Don't let them separate you from people just because they may think different than you, have different ideas than you. All of the different ideas and thinking different leaves room for us to conversate and learn from one another and be genuine about what we think. When we start to ostracize people for their political opinions or whatever opinion, what happened is you get people that are afraid to say what the fuck, how they really think. And then you just have a polarized country where people don't care about each other. You know what I'm saying? We've already gotten to a point to where humanity, instead of helping somebody that's in need, will pull out a phone and watch somebody burn to death in a garbage can somewhere. And you know what I'm saying? We've already gotten to that point. Don't let these wicked politicians, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of these wicked religious figures, because they try to tie to politics and religion and all of that shit, don't let them do that to you. Don't let them polarize you from people. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to control your mind with that shit. I'm talking about it being in all of these shows because I'm noticing that that is the spell. They are casting a spell. They're broadcasting a spell. Don't let it. I think that, and well, let's get to the comment. So I answered the comment and I said, they literally changed the name because of who's in office. The showrunners confirmed that. The friend at the Pentagon talked about rigging a Georgia election. You can think what you want. I said nothing about politics, nothing about this going on in that country and all of this. I'm talking about the fucking show, right? My mission on this channel is to show you the fucking spells that they're casting on it. That's my shtick. You dig? That's what I'm here for. So someone comes in and says, "Real, don't be like that. Let's not push politics when we know that it's all a cult. Something are bigger than Donald. You should know that by now." And I'm like, I'm not pushing politics, and I laughed. I said, I'm pointing out what's on the show and what the actual showrunners said about the reason why they changed the name. Didn't the man's friend joke about rigging an election in Georgia? I didn't write that in the show. And then about an hour later or so, the person comes back and says, I did some research and I stand corrected, but I do believe both points can be true. My apologies. So there you have it. Like, I have to respect this person because they came back and they said, yo, I did the research. I can't really argue with anything you have said. Can't argue with it. But I do think that both points are there. And that's fair. And I can rock with that. But people, I'm doing this right here to make it clear. Like, I'm not trying to stir shit up about politics. I don't give a shit about politics. I'm trying to show you that these television shows are trying to stir shit up about politics and are casting notions upon a broad screen. Okay? They are doing that. And I'm pointing it out. I pointed it out in From. I pointed it out in The Boys. I pointed it out in Doom Prophecy. I mean, it is in there. It's in there. I'm not putting it in there. But surely, once I point these things out to you, I'm pretty sure that they're hard to ignore. I'm sure we can agree on that. Let me get back to the chat, see what y'all was saying. I was ranting for a minute, but I had to go there because I just finished my episode 5 video and I uploaded it and I saw that and I said, yo, I got to talk about this. Where we at? Let me go up in the chat real quick. Alicia says subliminal messages. Indeed. Spell casting. This is a fact. You see what I'm saying? The bunker busters are what we used about a year ago. No, they also have been using them all year in 2026. Well, they've been purchasing them since February and they used them in between there. But yes, you're right. They did use the bunker busters in 2025 as well. Go do the research. Because I did the research before I put the first video out about it. I didn't want to be like wrong about what the fuck I was saying. Like, and I didn't care what, publication gave me the news, whether it was right leaning or left leaning. I kind of looked at everything and made my middle determination right there on what I'm reading here and what I'm understanding. Let us all tell you this. I'm with Helen, okay? I'm with Helen. We are only at the mercy of what these people tell us. We don't know what's really fucking going on anyway. So I tend to stay out of things that I can't control, that I can't actually put my hands on in effect. So that's how I look at it. What else we got? Joy said, what's Stargate in Iran? Oh, she's talking about the Stargate rumored to be found in Iran. No, you're talking about the Ziggurat of Ur. And that was already confiscated. The Stargate, and I want to point this out. They were looking for relics. Okay? they were looking for relics. What you're talking about, the Stargate, that was at the Ziggurat of Ur. Look up the Ziggurat of Ur in our occupation in the early 2000s. Our occupation of the Ziggurat of Ur. I had a friend that went over there who came back pissing Hawaiian punch. Okay? When he came back, he was pissing Hawaiian punch. If you get my drift. Okay? It was at the Ziggurat of Ur. Actually, on an old radio show that I had back in 2004, when I had a radio show, I interviewed the brother. I interviewed the brother in the studio, and like he talked about all kinds of horrific things that were going on. And he talked about, you know, where they went and what they were there for. They were there for relics. They took the relics out of the Ziggurat of Ur. And here we are on a show like Silo talking about relics. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Stargate was believed to be at the Ziggurat of Ur. You know what I'm saying? Let me go down a little bit. Let me go down. Okay, you're talking about the Stargate. They going crazy over there. Okay. I watch a lot of podcast discussions, and years ago I heard about the Stargate was evacuated in Iran. Excavated in Iran, and that it would start a war for control. Yo, yo, that's heavy shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think this kind of stuff is like crazy and conspiracy theory, and then like fucking 40 years later, we find out that this shit was real, and you know, here we are, and blah blah blah. Like, oh yeah, lots of it. I remember when people were saying that the Tuskegee syphilis experiment was a conspiracy theory. If you look up, like I remember I did studies on the Tuskegee experiment. I didn't live during that time period, but I did some studies on it. And when you look at what the studies are telling you, the people around during that time were casting it off as conspiracy theory. Okay, and then we find out, oh, for the last 40 years, y'all been hitting people with syphilis and sending them out into the community, huh? Just to see how the shit affects people, huh? Okay, got you. You know what I'm saying? This shit is real. Like, look it up. YouTube hit you with the fact checkers and all that shit. Look it up. Predictive programming. You know what I'm saying? Brother said, Ziggurat of Ur. Yes, indeed. Brother says, speaking truth or what is believed to be always has been spoken through the arts. Yes. Yes. I'm going to tell you something else, right? The, yes, relics like Silo. They were getting relics from the Ziggurat of Ur. And Tallulah Live spelled it right. How do you know I need that spell? Yes, she spelled it correctly right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pissing Hawaiian punch is crazy. And it's real. It's like really real. He said whatever they did to him, he said it was the medicine that they was hitting him with. Lunar Cascade in the building. There's a world of difference between the truth and facts. Facts can obscure the truth. Maya Angelou. Yes. Yes, indeed. And facts can be used to bend the actual narrative. You know what I'm saying? There are different examples of this. You know, a fact can be that something was blown up, right? And little seeds can be planted in your mind to make you think of this certain person blew it up when the truth could actually be someone else blew it up. But the fact that they gave you was that some shit was blown up. That's the fact. And so then they can use a fact to engineer something around that fact so that you can think a certain thing. Our governments are notorious for this, and this is how they get support for different wars and different bills that they want to pass and things like this. This is how they do it. That's what's being done. And television is a division of said government to get you to digest notions in your mind. This is why all of the TV shows talk about Trump in some way or another. And when I pointed out, you have people that are tripping at me, like, as if I wrote the shit. They don't say anything about the information that I presented. They never do, because there's nothing to argue with there. Like this guy, his name was supposed to be Donald. They changed it because Trump's in office, and his friend is joking about rigging elections in Georgia. Like, what the, what is there to argue with there? This shit's funny. I be laughing. Like, if you look at the comment, if y'all go to the video, you look at the comment, I'm laughing in my reply. Like, it was funny. Like, because the dude was like, real, don't be like that. Don't push politics. Blah, blah, blah. You should know that by now. Like, who the fuck you talking to? that shit had me rolling, actually. I was like, yo, it'd be funny when somebody has that they're passionately wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying, I'm just pointing out what's in the show, B. I don't give a fuck about no Trump or none of them motherfuckers. I don't give a shit about them. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the idea. They tell us that we can't govern ourselves, but they tell us that this one person can govern all of us. So how does that work? If I can't govern myself, then how are you able to govern all of us? Like, get the fuck out of it. Get that shit the fuck out of it. Get all that the fuck out of it. Now, what my philosophies are behind that situation, that's for another conversation. That's not for the TV shows. That's not for my opinions on that thing. This is not the arena for that. I'm just pointing out what's on the show. We can talk about it because it's captivating. And I'm not saying that it's even a bad thing that they do this. What I'm saying is you should know what they're doing, right? And I also admire how they're able to implement these things in television. I just wish that a lot of the movies were better. I wish that a lot of these TV shows were better. If you're going to just simply use them for vessels of symbolism. That's my thing. That's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? Luna Cascade, we have to talk. Luna Cascade and Percy, we have to talk about that Odyssey. We really have to talk about the Odyssey. Should we stop here in the mid? You know what? I'm going to stop here with this video. Okay? If you want to see the rest of the video, go check it out. Go check it out. Run it up. Help me run up the numbers. They shitting on me. I think even just because I mentioned certain things, they just kind of shit on my video. You can look at my channel and look. This video is proof. I said, you know what? I'm going to go in and talk about the Trump stuff and talk about the Georgia Guidestones and stuff and see how this video performs as opposed to the other videos that I've been putting out for Silo. Okay, so I've been getting like 7,000-10,000 views a video. That's okay for my channel. But then I drop this one and it only gets like 3,000 views. And I'm like, I knew it was something with the shit that I'm saying. And they didn't even give me any notifications that I was getting comments on it. It's almost like they didn't want me to engage with y'all about the shit. But you know me, I'm going to come on here and we're going to talk that shit about these videos. That's what I do. That's what I enjoy doing. And just for the people, like, I know that they watching and listening, just for y'all, I'm not saying that this is nefarious. I think it's actually brilliant how it's implemented. I think it's actually brilliant. I'm gonna say this about this, and then I'm gonna talk about the Odyssey. You know, the two actors and the actor and the actress that are playing the Billings family, they are actually real husband and wife. And they did an interview where they were sitting down talking to the interviewer, and the wife, I can't remember their names, and I apologize for that. They're great actors, and she's a great actress, and they're a beautiful family. They have a beautiful family. That's what's up. But I she said something in the interview where she was like, theater started out as ritual. She was like, it's good to perform these rituals on these shows because that's what theater started out as. I thought that was so profound coming from somebody on a show like this with so many connections to the meta. Right? Now, let's talk about that Odyssey. Let's talk about that Odyssey. And I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna just say this real quick. That Odyssey is trash. In a nutshell, that's my thoughts on it. The Odyssey was trash. The Odyssey didn't feel like they were acting. It didn't feel like they were acting. They weren't using accents. They weren't using the speech and the dialogue and the vocabulary of the time period. I felt like I was listening to fucking Peter Parker talk about his dad's coming home. When this motherfucker said, my dad's coming home, I almost just got up and walked away. My dad's coming home? Then there was another dude that was like, oh, he's a mama's boy. And this is within the first 5 minutes of the movie, fam. There was so much shit that was just so loud, and I could not get past that. Because if these people were not using accents and dialogue from the time period, that means that they were not acting. They were just reading. They were not verbally acting. They were physically acting. And that wasn't all that good. There were some good parts. The visual effects, everything, I felt like it did transport me somewhere. The sound was trash. I'm looking at some shit that's on screen, and I'm hearing shit that's off screen that's louder than the motherfuckers that's talking that I'm looking at. Who mixed that bullshit? Who did the mixing on it? It was just, I'm not giving you no spoilers. I'm not going to spoil it. But the visuals are right there. The dialogue snaps you right out of it. Yes, the dialogue is abysmal. Now, I can say this. What if the promotion and the marketing would have been a modern take on the Odyssey? I think you would have had a winner. But they said that this was inaccurate but a twist. I didn't like it. I'm not going to sit up here and rub their fucking feet, y'all. When they spend that kind of money on movies, and if you're spending hundreds of millions on a movie, that means you're trying to extract billions out of the population of people. That means you're trying to take my money, all of my family's money, my friends' money, and people that I don't even fucking know's money. That's what that means. If you spend that much on a film, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to pull billions out of the people. And when you're trying to pull billions out of the people, you got to fucking come correct. That's how I feel. I respect everybody else's opinions about the movies. I'm not going to spoil it. Y'all can wait for my esoteric breakdown, but I'm going to be talking that shit in the esoteric breakdown too. But the Odyssey wasn't it, y'all. That's my opinion. You know why? And this is the funniest thing that you're going to laugh at. The Street Fighter movie that's coming out is going to be better than the Odyssey was. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailers or not, but every character in the movie is trying to, Street Fighter is about fighters from all different countries in the world. You got Swedish, you got Russian, you got Chinese, you got Japanese, you got African, you got Indian, you got motherfuckers from all over the world. And when you look at the trailer, everybody is acting. They've got the right accents. The accents actually sound good. You see the characters are actually doing moves directly from the old school game. You look at the sets, actually look like live action versions of the sets from the video game. The storyline looks like it's going to be fire. And it's coming out in October. And it fucking looks better than the Odyssey. The actors are acting. They're physically acting, but they're also verbally acting. That was the problem with the Odyssey. They were only physically acting. There was no verbal acting. It just felt like they showed up and just were reading their lines. I don't know. It wasn't that. And John Leguizamo sounded like the fucking clown from Spawn. Okay? He didn't sound like he was in Homer's Epic. It was crazy. I was like, yo, come on. Y'all gotta be fucking kidding me. And the sound design, it wasn't rich. It wasn't IMAX worthy. So I'm going to leave it at that. The Street Fighter is going to be one of the dopest movies. I'm going to see if I could play can I play that trailer? The new Street Fighter trailer is fucking fire. Like, whoa. Hold on. They might try to hit me. They might try to smack me for this. But this shit is fire, y'all. They gave us the look with the Blanca shit. The Blanca shit is fire. Have y'all seen this? Have y'all seen this yet? Hold on, let me see. If y'all seen this? She said the dog was the best actor. Oh, the dog was heartbreaking. Oh no, I'm not even gonna spoil it, y'all. We're not gonna do those spoilers. So I'm gonna try to play the Street Fighter joint and see if they fucking smack me for this shit, y'all. If they end the stream, you know what happened.
Ryu, I know what you're capable of. Show me. Let's go!
I think I gotta pause it a little bit and talk a little bit and stuff like that, and I think we should be fine. Look at the scenery. Look at the scenery. Look at what's going on here. This is crazy. This is crazy. Moves directly from the video game. Everything's crazy. Even the extras screaming and acting right there. Look at this guy's fucking face. And then look at the other guy's face. Look at the people screaming. Look at the cage that they're in. Look at the explosions of the concrete. Yo, this is crazy.
Stop! I do not wish to fight you. Then?
Okay, so this guy talks with an accent better than anybody, hands down, in the Odyssey film.
Stop! I do not wish to fight you. Then you die. Okay? I warned you.
Even Jason Momoa says, then you die, okay? Like, he gives a personality to Blanca that we've never seen. Let's look at that again.
Stop! I do not wish to fight you. Then you die. Okay? I warned you. Oh, okay.
Yo, this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy.
3, 2, 1. I got good news, y'all. Gathered here are the world's best fighters.
I won't deny it. I'm a street fighter.
But only one of which will be crowned the world champion of street fighting.
This shit is crazy. This is what I'm talking about. Let me fucking find out that this is going to be better than the Odyssey, and nobody's going to fucking admit it. Everybody's going to kiss the Odyssey's ass. I don't know why they're all doing this. I'm wondering if they've all been paid. I'm wondering if it's one of those Emperor's got, the Emperor's new clothes thing. Nobody wants to look like the dummy that didn't get it. But I'm going to keep it real.
Be crowned the world champion of street fighting. You win. Perfect.
You're not a warrior anymore. You're a sideshow.
What's up, MTV? I'm Ken Masters.
This is your shot at redemption.
Were you gonna show?
Boom, they're already showing you that one of the heroes, Ken and Ryu, right, are both facing adversity that's going to have some character development. You see this guy, he's partying, he's drinking, he's beating characters that he could just beat with his eyes closed, and he's like not taking life seriously or being a warrior seriously. You know what I'm saying? And you see 50 Cent's character hitting, bow, knock him down. So you seeing some character development. It's going to be in the movie, right? The guy's at a low point. He's going to get to a high point. Same with Ryu here.
The path I'm on now is not one of combat.
Maybe it's Ken's turn to be champion.
Look at that. Look at that set. Look at that set. Let me find out that a fucking video game movie is going to be better than Homer's Odyssey by, come on, yo. By a big box director.
Will you find me?
I'm paid to find champions. Even if they're lost.
They're really focusing on what his character development is going to be for the movie. There's so much symbolism in this movie. You already know I'm going to cover this.
Good to see you, old friend. Still reckless.
I said, hey, what's going on?
Sit down. This tournament is not what it seems. We have to be ready.
Everyone keeps going on about your thighs.
What's going on?
I don't see what the big deal is.
What's going on?
Why are these characters acting better than what we saw in the Odyssey? And this is only the trailer. And why is everybody praising the Odyssey? And I'm going to tell you something else. When you go buy a ticket, and that shit says that the theater is packed and you get there and it's not that many fucking people there, something's fishy with that. Something's fishy with that. Either somebody bought some tickets and didn't show up, or somebody bought some tickets and didn't show up, if you get my drift. Something's fishy with that. It reminds me of when niggas used to buy their own albums and shit in the stores.
Bitch, please!
That was some abracadabra shit.
That was some abracadabra shit. Yo, yeah. This one, yeah. Seriously overrated because of the big name actors, the big name director, all of the bullshit. Big Heck in the building said, is Pac saying I'm a street fighter? Yeah, that shit's funny too. They got the Pac remix in there. I'm sorry I'm ranting on y'all for talking shit about the Odyssey, but I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. The Odyssey wasn't good. You know, Backrooms is better than it. Fucking Toy Story was better than it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't understand. I do understand what's going on, but I don't understand why. But the symbolism, we are cooked for real. Like, the symbolism is definitely going to get chefed up. The symbolism is going to get chefed up. I just got to wait until I could get a clear copy to chop up so I can get some pictures and shit like that so I can show you what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, soon as that happens, we're cooking that up. Get ready for Dark Matter is also coming back August 28th, I believe. Oh, shit. Debbie, Yebby, Bo, Bebby, Banana, Fana, Fo, Febby, to the Fee, Five, Mo, Mebby, Debbie. Is in the What's going on? Demo's in the building. Yeah, man. Like, it looks like his actual stage. Like, it looks like Vega's actual stage. Like, it looks authentic. It looks great. I think, yeah, I should have fair use on it because I'm talking that shit behind it. That Vega mask looks crazy, too. The claws, did you see the claws? The graphics was fire. Yeah, the all-star cast, you know. You know. Oh, Luna Cascade, something else I want to talk to you about. Yeah, Dark Matter is going to be good. I want to talk to you about yes. Did I see the trailer for Children of Blood and Bone? I did. Let's watch that. I have a lot to talk about. As I was looking for, I saw the trailer on my phone. And when I got home, I looked up the trailer and I saw more controversy around the movie than I actually saw good promotion. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to talk about that. I don't know what it is, but I could say one thing, that it looks like for a different audience. We'll just look at a slice of it real quick. Hold on. Children of Blood and Bone. Okay, yeah. And this is a Paramount Pictures joint. All black cast.
My daughter, you must not be afraid. Orisha Orisha was once a land where magic flowed through our people. You were born with a gift greater than you know. But those who feared our...
Now I can say this. I'm not feeling the Beyonce music in there. It doesn't, that music that they're using doesn't give you magical, mystical, it doesn't make you feel that way. I think it was a very bad choice for the trailer of this movie to use that music. They need, you have to understand what the music's purpose is, right? The music's purpose is to give you the mood. When there's a car chase, you have a up tempo beat, right? You don't hear this like slow violin music when there's a car chase going on. So the music is there to give you a mood and a feeling. So when I hear the Beyonce music jumping off in there in the trailer, that music doesn't give me mystical, African, magical, Orisha vibe. It don't give me any of that. You know what I'm saying? It gives me a it gives me Beyonce vibes and shit.
Orisha was once a land where magic flowed through our people. You were born with a gift greater than you know. But those who feared our power took it away from us.
I know you, miss her. Your powers may be gone.
And then they put the Afro beats in there. You know what I'm saying? It's in the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? It puts it in the wrong place. When I hear Beyonce, I don't think of Hawaii. Nah, this is supposed to be Africa. You know what I mean? Okay, so you read the source material. Okay. And see, the source material is like for teens. It's like for a younger audience. You know what I mean? And the wigs are kind of crazy too. The accents are crazy too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the problems that I had with Black Panther. But I get it because the comics were like, when they did the Black Panther series, it was kind of like that too. Like on, the first time I saw that animated series was on BET, and it was kind of the same. But I mean, that gets a pass. But this shouldn't. This should have its own feeling. I don't know. I'm kind of getting like Wakanda vibes. It doesn't feel like its own thing. It doesn't feel like its own thing. But I think it might be dope. I'm going to definitely check it out to see what's there.
But that does not change who you are. Magic is a festering disease. Purge it!
Heed my words. You are the future king.
And see, this right here is what people wanted to see for the Black Panther joint. They wanted to see this. You know what I'm saying? And I wonder why. I really want to know what the author of this IP is mad about. She says she doesn't want to hear about this movie. She says she doesn't want anybody to speak to her about it. She says she's not going to support it. She's not going to watch it. I wonder what that's about. She hasn't been very clear about it. I see a lot of people are talking about the main character not being dark-skinned enough, which is crazy to me. Like, I don't know I don't know why we do this with everything. Like, I feel like I'm bigger than my skin color. I feel like all of you are. I feel like all of you are more beautiful than what your outside appearance can give to the world. And I don't think that that wraps you up into what you are or who you are. I think that I don't know why that's an issue in fucking 2026. We about to be in 2027. And I don't understand why that would be an issue. At the same time, I don't have a problem with, like, okay, so this people are saying that the character in the book is described as having very dark skin. So I feel like if that's the description in the book, then that's what it should be. But I feel like it should be like that across the board. I 100% support people being able to put together projects that are with an entire black cast. I 100% support that. But I also support people being able to put together in a project with an entire white cast. I think that things should fall under the way that things are described in books and stuff. And I'm cool with diversity as well. If someone makes a decision to change a character from a male to a female, or a female to a male, or a white character, a black character, I'm cool with all that. That really doesn't ruffle much of my feathers, but I do prefer things to be presented as they were described in the source material. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's too much controversy around colorism and race and stuff when it comes to art and entertainment. It's like telling a young child that they're not allowed to paint a character purple, or they're not allowed to make a green character. Like, I let my children explore their creativity in whatever way they want to. I remember being one of those type of children that when I looked around at things, and I always noticed how the light would bounce off of people, and I became an artist because of that. So I don't understand why it's such a big thing, and I feel like people have been coerced into feeling like this so that it can be used against them as some sort of marketing tool. You know? I don't know. I don't know. Those are my thoughts on it. It does look good though. It looks like it's gonna be good. Um then you have the whole the brother from The Long Walk playing T'Challa. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they're bringing this brother's personal life into it, the fact that he's gay or LGBT and all of that. Like, I don't give a shit about any of that. One thing I do know, I've seen him in 2 movies, and he can fucking act his ass off. And I think that everybody is saying that they're not going to support the Black Panther because he's in it. I think he's going to come in and make you eat crow. I'm just being real with you. I've seen Damson Idris, and I've seen him in several things. And he can change his accent. He's very good at that. But I want y'all to go take a look at The Long Walk and see the one brother play the black character in The Long Walk. I had no idea that this was a British man. This brother sounded like one of my Southern grandfather's old friends that chewed tobacco and put peanuts in his Coca-Cola. Do you hear me? Like, this brother sounded like he was from here. So he's a phenomenal actor. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea he was British, and I think that he's going to put on a good job. I think I don't know what the narrative of this is going to be. If they're saying that he's going to play T'Challa's son, it's going to suck to see a fucking time skip, Or are they going to use him as like a multiverse variant? I don't know. I have no idea. Are they going to replace him? Are they going to replace T'Challa? I don't know. I don't think they should have ever killed T'Challa. I think it was a bad decision to kill T'Challa. Even though I think they should have recast Chadwick Boseman from the beginning. I've been saying that from the beginning. And everybody was like, no, that he died. So everybody was like, no, we can't recast him. Like, fuck that. I understand you can still respect him. You can still respect what he's done. First movie I saw Chadwick Boseman in was him playing James Brown. And when I first looked at him, I was like, man, this dude looks nothing like James Brown. And as I watched the movie, I totally forgot about that. And I felt like I was looking at James Brown in real life. He did what Jamie Foxx did with Ray. Okay. So Chadwick Boseman was an amazing actor. And when you put amazing actor in the spot to play T'Challa or the Black Panther or any of that kind of situation where he can use his actual face and his motion and actions, but he also gets to wear a mask and do action. When you put a good actor in that kind of position, you're going to get something good. So I don't really care about him not being Damson. I don't really care about him being LGBT. None of that shit bothers me. I don't give a shit about it. And it's not my fucking money. They spending their own money to make this film. They spending their money, and I don't tell people what to do with their money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do that. So, they said it's going to be a son. If it's going to be the son, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think Damson would have did a good job too. He's good. But I don't know. I think this guy might edge him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy might edge him. The way he played in The Long Walk. And he also played in one of them Alien movies where he was an android. He's fire, y'all. Who gives a shit about who he loves and who he makes love with and all that? I don't give a shit about that. Pause. That's not any of my business. Is he a good actor? Yeah, I didn't even know the man was British. That's how good he was acted to me. I thought he was from the South. I thought they went and got a good old Southern boy to play that role. Nope. That dude's British. So if he can do that, I mean, I think he's gonna make everybody say, I think he's gonna do a good job. And then but see, this is what's gonna happen. So many people have like what I have here, live streams, opinions, videos that they're making. And if this guy comes out and does a good job, the people that have been sitting there saying that they don't fuck with it, they don't like the choice and shit like that, are going to be forced to say that they don't like the movie, even if they do like the movie. They're going to be like, they're almost going to be forced to say that they don't fucking like it because it's going to go against what they've been telling their audience the whole time. It's kind of like Patrick Kennedy, right? You got Kyle telling him like, yo, bro, shit's fucked up outside. The shit's a display on the helmet. You got Juliet telling him shit's fucked up outside. But this guy has galvanized an entire movement of the outsiders from the down deep all the way to the top under the auspice that they're lying about it being toxic outside. Okay? So he's got these two people and he's conflicted because he can't really tell his audience that, because that's how he's built his audience, by telling them that it's not, that it is safe outside. You know what I'm saying? But that's what he's conflicted with at this moment. And that's what you're going to see people conflicted with when it's all said and done. I mean, it's crazy. Hold on. Luna Cascade said, has she said what the controversy really is? I want to know. Damson is fantastic. I think so too. if you want to be technical, T'Challa dies in the comics and Shuri takes over the mantle. So I wasn't disappointed. I will say Boseman cannot be. Yeah, but the way they didn't do it. They didn't do it. They didn't. I don't think that they did it right. I think that them. I think that they did that at that time. Just there was T'Challa still had shit to do. I think they did that at that time because he died. Alien Romulus. Yes. He's in Alien Romulus. Yes, he is. That's the one where he played the android. He's fire. He's fire. Let's see. Yeah, the Long Walk, he played in that. Exactly. Ryan Coogler knows what he's doing. I don't even know if he made that decision. I don't know if he's like the he's not the casting director. So I don't know, but I'm sure he had a say so, in that particular character for sure. Yeah, him playing Franklin in Snowfall, Chef's Kiss, I agree. His Cali accent was kind of all over the place a little bit, but as we went and got more seasons, it got way better actually. It got more, it was tighter. It was tighter. I guess it was me adjusting to him at first. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Long Walk, he killed it. Oh, Debbie Ebby's got a Silo tribute video dropping tomorrow called Shadow. Okay. You have to go check out Debbie's channel. Debbie, drop the link. Drop the link to your YouTube channel. Debbie does artwork, so she's got a themed Silo piece coming tomorrow. Silo tribute video coming tomorrow. I know the beat is going to be crazy if it's inspired by Silo. You know what I'm saying? And I know the artwork is going to be phenomenal. So go check that out tomorrow. It's dropping tomorrow. Let us know what time, Eastern Standard Time, that it drops so that we can plan to be there. You know what I'm saying? Drop that link for us in the chat, please. I think the author doesn't like that some of her characters aren't being portrayed the way she wanted them to. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you something. When they're paying you the money, they can do whatever the fuck they want to do with it after that. You can write some clauses in there all you want. It might fuck your money up, to be honest with you. They might say, well, you know what? Never mind. Don't worry about it. So, when somebody, you're asking somebody to give you money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's the situation. If I don't know. And they're still going to make people go buy your source material. They're still turning people onto your source material. So people are going to come right back to the book. You're going to eat again, and people will see your characters the way you present them in your book and the way they were meant to be displayed. So if that's her problem with it, the video that I saw, she said she experienced the most horrific thing in her life. And I'm like, okay. I'm wondering how much money she got paid for the IP, because I'm sure it's a lot. If Paramount is doing it and they're hiring all these black actors, I'm pretty sure that it's decent, right? And if getting a decent paycheck is a part of, as an artist, for your work, for your blood, sweat, and tears, for your creative equity that you put down and you getting paid for it, can also be like the worst experience you ever had in your life, and you probably had a really good life. Like, I don't know what it is, especially I'm pretty sure she can't really get into it because of legal reasons. I'm pretty sure they have some kind of non-disparaging clause in her contract where she can't disparage the film or people from wanting to go see the film. But I think she already does that by saying that she won't support it. She won't go look at it, stuff like that. I think those are disparaging things, and she might be walking up on a lawsuit. So I don't know what the situation is. I don't know why she's, I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Being portrayed in the movie. Let's see. Yes, yes. So what I think Kenny's doing with Kyle, I mean, at this point, they're just protecting bro. You know what I'm saying? I think that they're actually protecting bro. I think he doesn't have to fucking hide in the mines anymore. I think he is a part of the network that is the alternate design of the silo. The alternate travel ways, if you will. I mean, why the fuck don't they have elevators? Why the fuck don't they have some kind of thing that can like go around the silo? There's like old people walking up and down them steps and all type of shit. You know, like I used to I remember back in the day they had those things that you could buy to put on the side of the staircase where if you had like a grandparent or an old lady and husband could get up the steps, or you could just sit down in the chair and the shit would just take them right up the steps. Like I remember them shits right there. Like y'all don't have nothing like that in the silo. Like what the fuck's going on with the silo? They wanted these people to be walking their asses off. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have anything. So I'm not mad at whoever dug them holes through the ground in those lockers and shit like that and made those passages. Yo, shout out to those people. Those people are the real fucking MVPs of the silo. Like for real. Like, yeah, they are MVPs. You know. The stairs keep them divided, yes, and keep them easy to watch. Keeps them right in the middle. You want to travel, you go right in the middle. Come right up the middle. We got the cameras and everything. You got to read the books to get it better. I'm just actually throwing funny questions out there. I'm almost done with wool, actually. So yeah, I'm hip. I'm hip. Trust me. Trust me. Thank you, Samerhand. You know, I want to know what Silo's parents did that made it able for them to go outside and go watch season 2 again. You don't even got to watch the whole season. Watch the last episode, I believe. Yeah, watch the season 2 finale. Tells you right there what happened. And he gives her the blueprint and everything. Like that's what happened. But it gets more deeper into it too this season. So shout out to that. Don't think we're not going back over to Silo 17. We got to get back over there and see what's going on with them. If it ain't nothing but just holler at them. We need to holler at Solo Jimmy. We got to get back over there. They can't take us this far into the series and not take us over there to show what's going on with my man Solo Jimmy. I don't call him Solo. I don't call him Jimmy. He's Solo Jimmy. That's Solo Jimmy right there. You know? So the show will be coming on in what? 3 hours? 3 hours and 5 minutes. The show will be on and popping. I don't want this live stream to be too long. I just talked my shit a little bit. Talked about the video. If you want to go watch the video, go run the numbers up. Help me run the numbers up. Go over there, drop a comment, share that joint to some of those Facebook groups and Reddit posts and all that shit. Like, hook me up, help me out. I want to fight this algorithm's bias towards me. The proof is right there in the pudding, right there. Like I drop all these videos, I'm getting 7, 9, 10,000 views, and then I drop one talking that shit, and then it only gets 2, 3,000 views. Help me fight the algorithms biased against me. I love you in advance. Thank you so much for showing up. I won't be going live this evening because I'm going live right now. I have some things to do, but my episode 5 video does drop, I believe, at 10:15, which is 15 minutes after the show airs. It should be up. It's real fire. Oh man, like this episode is definitely my favorite so far. Yeah, I hope you watch the video. Share the video. Let everybody know that I'm rocking it out here. I see a lot of people saying that I have the best commentary out. So show me some love. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking anybody else and what they do. I actually support them. You know what I mean? Even if they don't support me, it's all good. It's a community, right? So that's what we do. Love you for coming out. Thank you. Be kind to people, and I hope people are kind to you today. Much love. Peace.